The cold, dark void of space was filled with stars, but tonight, one star moved, a sleek vessel, unlike anything humanity had ever seen, approached Earth. Inside, Princess Elara of the Talari Empire clutched the controls with trembling hands. Her heart raced. Her people, once a proud and peaceful race, were on the brink of extinction. The Drakthar, a ruthless and merciless species, had decimated the Talari homeworld, and now their sights were set on Earth. The Talari fleet was destroyed, her empire crumbled. Humanity was her last hope. As her ship pierced Earth's atmosphere, she sent a desperate distress signal. Her voice, translated into the languages of the planet below, echoed a single plea: help us. The Drakthar are coming. If we do not stand together, both our worlds will fall. On Earth, chaos erupted. For decades, the idea of alien life had been a source of fascination and debate, but now it was real, and it was terrifying. Military satellites immediately locked onto the alien craft, tracking its descent. In an underground military base in Nevada, Captain Sarah Mitchell of the United Earth Defense Force, UEDF, stood before her commanders as they argued over the aliens' intentions. Some wanted to shoot the ship down before it landed, fearing an invasion. Others, seeing the distress signal, believed in the possibility of peace. Captain Mitchell remained silent, her mind racing. She had trained for war her entire life, but never had she imagined a war like this. First contact with an alien race, and now the survival of Earth could depend on the outcome. The alien ship landed quietly in the Nevada desert. Dust billowed around its sleek, silver frame as the ramp extended. Captain Mitchell and her team, clad in full combat gear, approached cautiously. Guns were drawn, fingers twitching near the triggers. They had no idea what they were about to face. As the hatch opened, the figure that emerged was not what they expected. Princess Elara stepped forward, her tall, elegant form shimmering under the desert moonlight. Her skin was a deep blue, her silver eyes glowing softly in the darkness. She raised her hands slowly, a gesture of peace. "I come in peace," she said through her translator, her voice soft yet urgent. "My people are being destroyed by the Drakthar, and they will come for you next. We need your help. Alone, we cannot stop them." For a moment, no one moved. Mitchell's grip tightened on her rifle. She studied the alien, searching for signs of deception. But all she saw was desperation. The fate of two worlds hung in the balance, and the decision had to be made now. "We'll hear you out," Mitchell finally said, lowering her weapon. Princess Elara exhaled in relief. Earth was not lost yet, but the war for survival had just begun. In the dimly lit war room of the United Earth Defense Force base, Princess Elara stood before a gathering of Earth's top military leaders. Her holographic map of the galaxy flickered, showing a red line of destruction sweeping through star systems. The Drakthar, a brutal and unstoppable force, had laid waste to dozens of worlds, including her own. Earth was next. "The Drakthar are not like any enemy you've faced," Elara began, her voice steady despite the urgency of the situation. "They are warlords, bred for conquest. Their ships are organic, alive, and their weapons are bioengineered horrors that can decimate entire populations in hours." Captain Sarah Mitchell listened closely, her arms crossed. The weight of the alien princess's words was heavy. Earth had faced wars before, but this was different. The Talari, with their advanced technology and peaceful ways, had been utterly destroyed. What chance did humanity have? The hologram zoomed in on a single glowing planet, Earth. "Your world will be overrun," Elara continued. "The Drakthar fleet is vast, and they will stop at nothing. But there is hope. My people were working on a weapon, a prototype that can disrupt their biotechnology." The room grew tense. General Briggs, the grizzled head of Earth's military operations, leaned forward. "A weapon? Where is it?" Elara's silver eyes glimmered with determination. It's located on a secret Talari moon base, deep in Drakthar-controlled space. But retrieving it won't be easy. The base has likely been overrun, and the Drakthar will do anything to stop us from using it. The mission was clear, but it sounded impossible. Mitchell glanced at her team. They were among the best Earth had to offer, but infiltrating Drakthar territory was a suicide mission. Still, without this weapon, Earth had no chance. What's our timeline? Mitchell asked, her voice calm but firm. Elara's expression darkened. The Drakthar fleet is only days away. You'll have to move quickly. If we can retrieve the weapon and deploy it in time, we might stand a chance. If not, Earth will be the next Talari. The room fell silent, the weight of her words sinking in. General Briggs grunted, his eyes narrowing. What guarantee do we have that this weapon will work? For all we know, this could be a trap. Elara's gaze didn't waver. You have no guarantee. But without it, you have no chance. The Drakthar will wipe out your cities, your people, everything you know will be ashes. Mitchell knew the risks, but Earth had no other option. They couldn't afford to wait and hope the Drakthar would spare them. We'll go, she said, her voice cutting through the tension. We'll get the weapon. Elara nodded, her face softening with gratitude. Thank you. I won't let your world fall like mine did. As the team prepared for the mission, one thing became clear: this wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a war for the future of humanity. The Talari stealth ship, sleek and almost invisible against the backdrop of space, drifted silently toward the Drakthar-controlled moon. Inside, Captain Sarah Mitchell, Princess Elara, and a select team of Earth and Talari soldiers prepared for the mission ahead. Tension hung in the air, thick and unspoken. The moon base below, once a thriving hub of Talari innovation, now lay in enemy hands. Their objective: retrieve the prototype weapon that could stop the Drakthar. As the ship entered the moon's orbit, the crew's eyes fixed on the surface. The base was surrounded by Drakthar patrols, their hulking figures prowling the dark terrain. The Dark Claws, the Drakthar's elite soldiers, were bred for combat, and their sheer size and strength made them nearly invincible. The stealth ship's cloaking systems gave the team an edge, but it was only a matter of time before the Drakthar detected them. We've got one shot at this, Mitchell whispered to her team, tightening her gear. Stay low, stay quiet, and follow the plan. We get in, get the weapon, and get out. No heroics. The ship landed in a shadowed crater, hidden from the Drakthar patrols. The team disembarked, moving swiftly across the rocky surface toward the base. Elara led the way, her knowledge of the base's layout crucial to their mission. As they approached the entrance, the moon's silence was broken only by the distant hum of Drakthar machinery. Inside, the base was a haunting shell of its former self. Flickering lights illuminated long, abandoned corridors, and the air was thick with the smell of decay. The Talari had left in haste, leaving behind the remnants of their advanced technology. But the Drakthar had been here, claw marks scored the walls, and the dark stain of battle was everywhere. Elara motioned toward a sealed door ahead. The weapon is in the main lab, just beyond this corridor. But the security systems will be active. Mitchell nodded to her tech specialist, Corporal Davis, who immediately began working on the door's control panel. His fingers flew across the alien interface, sweat beading on his forehead. The seconds stretched on, every moment feeling like an eternity. Finally, the door hissed open. Inside the lab, the prototype weapon sat in the center, encased in a protective shield. It was an imposing device, pulsing with faint energy. Elara approached it cautiously, her fingers brushing over the console. "This is it," she whispered. "With this, we can disrupt the Drakthar's biotechnology. But it's untested. We've never had the chance to use it." Before anyone could respond, alarms blared. Mitchell's heart sank. The Drakthar had detected them. "Move," she barked, as the team scrambled to secure the weapon. The base shook as heavy footsteps echoed through the corridors. The dark claws were coming. Mitchell knew they had only minutes to escape before they were overrun. But there was no turning back now. They had the weapon. "Let's get out of here," Mitchell ordered, her voice steady even as the weight of the mission bore down on them. The final battle had begun. The Earth's horizon was ablaze with fire as the Drakthar fleet descended. Their warships, colossal and organic, darkened the skies like a plague. Cities crumbled beneath the onslaught, and humanity's defenses strained against the sheer power of the alien invaders. The United Earth Defense Force, UEDF, fought valiantly, but they were outmatched in every way. In the heart of the chaos, Captain Sarah Mitchell and her team raced against time. They had returned to Earth with the Talari prototype weapon, their only hope of stopping the Drakthar, but activating it was a gamble. The weapon had never been tested, and its destructive potential was still unknown. Failure meant the end of humanity. As the UEDF command center buzzed with frantic energy, Princess Elara worked alongside Earth's scientists to bring the weapon online. She spoke quickly, her blue skin glistening with sweat as she explained the complex Talari technology. The tension in the room was palpable. "The weapon will emit a pulse that disrupts Drakthar biotech," Elara said, her voice steady despite the looming threat. "But the range is limited. We need to get the weapon to the front lines, directly beneath the heart of their fleet." Mitchell's gaze hardened. "We'll deliver it. What's the risk to Earth?" Elara hesitated, her silver eyes locking with Mitchell's. "The pulse could cause widespread damage to your own systems. Power grids, infrastructure, it could all be affected. But it's the only chance we have." There was no time for debate. The Drakthar flagship, a monstrous vessel commanded by the warlord Gorath, was moving into position. Its massive claws, lined with bioweapons, prepared to release a final wave of devastation. Earth was moments away from annihilation. Mitchell gathered her team, readying them for what would likely be a suicide mission. They loaded the weapon onto a transport and took off, weaving through the smoke-filled skies. Below them, the ruins of cities sprawled out like scars across the land. Above, the Drakthar ships loomed, their grotesque forms blotting out the sun. As they neared the Drakthar fleet, the transport came under heavy fire. Mitchell's pilot, a skilled veteran, dodged and weaved, but the ship was hit. Alarms blared, and sparks flew as the craft began to lose altitude. "We're going down," the pilot shouted. "Brace for impact." Mitchell yelled back, gripping her seat as the transport crashed hard into the battlefield below. Dazed but alive, Mitchell pulled herself from the wreckage, the weapon still intact beside her. With no time to spare, she and her team dragged the device into position. The Drakthar forces descended on them, but the UEDF launched a desperate counterattack, buying them precious moments. Mitchell activated the weapon, its hum growing louder as it charged. The pulse released with a deafening roar. A massive wave of energy surged upward, rippling through the Drakthar ships. One by one, their biotech systems faltered, then failed. Gorath's flagship trembled before crashing into the earth, its power completely drained. The battlefield fell silent. Though Earth was scarred, humanity had won its survival.